Right, so I'm going to follow on from Arlene and show you some retail excellence from both the UK and overseas. My personal view is that this is a great subject for us to talk about here. The more we can share and learn from each other, the more chance we have of maintaining a healthy category. To start with, I'll just put the UK promotions in some context for you. This chart just explains how sales break down just in the domestic market by retailer type. So this has changed significantly over time, and this is just the last 3-4 years. And what you can see is the 3% shift away from newsagents towards supermarkets. So that's nearly 20 million copies being bought in supermarkets rather than in newsagents. Some colleagues in other countries have kindly given me the data for their countries as well. So this shows the share of sale from 2011 to 2014. Newsagents in blue, supermarkets in red, and other retailers in green. So as you can see, the trend that we're facing in the UK isn't actually being seen in Australia and Germany, but it is in South Africa. Very similar trend. So whilst this is very much due to things like store closures and store openings, it does demonstrate a real transformation in how and where people buy magazines. And that's what presents us with new challenges. The first of these, I'm going to focus on 3 challenges today. So the first is pressure on space. We all know that in each of our countries, the retailers have more profitable categories that often end up encroaching on our space. Even the category itself is quite crowded. In the UK, there are over 3,000 regular frequency titles, plus another 1,000 irregular frequency. And according to FIP, the USA has the most titles at 7,500, although we've just heard that it was 9,000. So that's an enormous amount of titles to try and get into the space. So of course it is vital that we create a vibrant, inviting area for magazines, one that entices consumers into the store and into the category. And of course, each of us wants to make our titles stand out from the crowd. Here's 2 examples of how the UK supermarkets have given good, well-managed space to the category. Research tells us that one of the most frustrating things that consumers have when shopping for magazines is finding the title they want. So effective signposting is key to driving sales. So the simple colour blocking here assists in the initial sector search, then allowing the shopper more time to compare individual titles within a sector before making their final choice, giving them that all-important browsing moment. The editorial matter in magazines is exciting, topical, and inspiring. And here's just a few examples of where we've taken the actual core element of that magazine and oversized it, just to bring the category to life. It really does grab shoppers' attention, and we know that with this display in store, they will stop and look, and hopefully buy. Internationally, we've worked with our partners to develop eye-catching in-store theatre. Retailers do know this drives sales, as Arlene has been talking about, and so they really do engage with us to promote just the import titles. These are images from our 2013 and 2014 Marketforce Best of British campaign. Each year it's based on a topical theme, and this year we chose the Football World Cup, obviously. So from independent newsagents in Spain to chain retailers in Dubai, this global campaign has seen real tangible results. This store window from this year's campaign, I think, is quite exceptional. It's a fantastic interpretation and implementation of the promotion in New Zealand. So not only did the retailer use the point of sale material that we supplied, but they added to it with their own, so they invested themselves in it. And quite uniquely, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it, they created a radio ad.
There's a ripping good promotion on now at Balance Street Bookshop, a little celebration called Best of British. But it's not all about the old school. In fact, it's really about showcasing the latest fashions, trends and culture coming out of the UK today. There's loads of British magazines to check out. Hello, Ideal Home, Motorsport, Pick Me Up and the World Cup in Brazil. Whether it's football glory or a great story, head into Balance Street Bookshop in the Balance Street Village. All right, mate?
Quite amazing that they went to that effort for us, which is fantastic. So carrying on from the theme promotions, here are some others that we've done. So this is very similar to the Best of British, but for Christmas, which is focusing on festive reads. So again, we're just creating theatre in-store, awareness, and importantly, suggestion. Ultimately, consumers want to be sold to, and it's our job to give them a reason to buy. So the last in this series is this craft promotion from Gordon & Gotch in Australia. I've chosen this one because I think the point of sale is really engaging, and of course it had great uplifts in sales as well. Consumers don't always know the price of a magazine. If you put a bit of theatre around it, they assume that there's an offer on or that there's some added value. All of these campaigns, there was no offer, it's just theatre. In terms of individual title standout, I think the best example we've got is the global launch of Porter this year. The publisher invested significant amounts, both in the UK and overseas, to ensure on-brand in-store advertising. The focus was on high-volume outlets with the right core demographic audience of upmarket women. So as a new title, we really had to capture the multiple opportunities to see. So we had to get presence throughout the shopper journey. So it started from outside the store, which is, I think the example on the far right there is a good one, right through to within the shopper journey, so the girls talking about the title, right through to the checkout. The second challenge we're facing at retail is that the shopper themselves is investing more time and energy in thinking about how they buy. The global recession has understandably put pressure on consumer spending, and so they're looking for the best deals and are prepared to shop around and substitute brands more than ever before. Therefore, to cut through the noise and reinforce the consumer's self-perception that they are being smart shoppers, we need to present them with offers that are really of interest to them, whilst of course driving our sales. And although that's an obvious point, I'm sure we've all seen offers in store that really haven't been relevant. These ones from the UK are relevant and have been successful. On the left, you've got promotions that encourage an additional purchase, either across similar interest brands or within the same portfolio. Increasing weight of purchase in the same shopping trip is more and more important because we know that the frequency of buying magazines is on the decline. The other promotions here offer the consumer something intrinsically linked to that title. So the picture on the far right, if you can read that, the winner £400 shopping sprint, is for typical housewife titles, so very much aligned with the target audience. And here's some things from overseas. So we've got an iTunes link with music titles in New Zealand, an offer that's clearly spot on for the buyers of music titles. And it's actually quite a high value one, so the offer was to win $300 worth of iTunes vouchers. So that would turn a maybe purchase into a definite one. In the summer months, Malta is very much like Cannes, hits about 27 degrees. And the offer here was a bottle of water with a magazine, again, turning a maybe into a definite. The last example at the bottom is a sort of near-branded promotion in Australia. I say near-branded because it's got a chocolate bar on it, and the chocolate brand says, hello, I'm strawberry cheesecake. So a really good, easy link to make up. We've done quite a lot of water and chocolate promotions across the world, and whilst they're relatively simple, they have consistently increased sales for our titles. UK grocers are probably the best, or one of the best, at using their loyalty cards to drive sales. Their ability to mine consumer data helps further build their knowledge of the shopper. And this means that they can do various offers throughout the store. These ones, for instance, are actually quite low value, but of high appeal. So this example here is in Waitrose supermarkets, which hopefully you're familiar with, very upmarket store. The offer here is just 10% off the magazine, and at $3.99, that's 40p, so not a lot for an upmarket audience. But as you can see, the uplifts are very high. And what that does is it just says to the consumer as they're walking around the store, this is an offer for people like me. Makes it feel personal. Talking of which, one of the biggest impacts of technology is really about personalized marketing. The ability to serve a specific message to a specific consumer is incredibly powerful. Whilst I'd love to suggest we put our consumers' names on the front of magazines, I'm not quite sure that's feasible. But what I think is feasible is that we adopt that technology ourselves, rather than see it as a competitor, but see it as a partner, and really target our promotions to the right people in the right way to get the result we want. I've already spoken a bit about loyalty cards, and this is where it does get a little bit cleverer. So in stores like Tesco's and Sainsbury's that have their loyalty cards, every shop is recorded through the use of the card, and then that helps segment the consumers. So it could be a broad segmentation in terms of their shopping habits based around their food buying, or it could be around specific categories. So for magazines, for instance, if you've, Nectar does this, that if you bought a specific magazine but not for a while, you're classified as a warm consumer of that brand. If you buy it regularly, you're a hot consumer. If you haven't bought it at all, you're a cold consumer. So what that means is that when you're served the voucher at the till, which is what happens with these vouchers on the left, the card tells the till mechanic, basically, what kind of consumer you are and serves the most appropriate voucher. So if you're a warm purchaser, you might get 50p off a magazine. If you're a cool customer, you might get £1 off. So that tailoring is really, really important. You can target competitor titles, so purchases of your main competitors, great for stealing share. The vouchers on the right they come with your till receipt, and those are given to shoppers who spend a certain amount in store. So these are very much reward vouchers. Where we've used these for magazines is to bolster sales in the second half of an on-sale period. So monthly titles are seeing the same rate of sale in weeks 3 and 4 that they were seeing in weeks 1 and 2. So very, very targeted. Here's a little glimpse at what maybe we'll see more of in the future. So these types of promotions are relatively small scale at the moment, and we're testing them. And really trying to understand buyer behaviour and what will influence more purchase, and then we can focus in the right places going forward. So we've used social media. So at the bottom you've got a Facebook ad there, and that's telling people what the promotion is in store, very simply using the magazine Facebook page. We've also used Twitter for what we call flash sales. What happens there is that in Smith's Travel stores, we change the price of the magazine for just an hour or so, and alert people to it by using Twitter, so they know they can go in and get it for a discount. Consumers can also, the one on the right there, Priority Moments, this was a promotion with Panini, and this was about people downloading an app. When they showed that at the till point, when they checked out, it showed that they could get a free box of stickers. So the last example, you may have read about this recently. There's been a little bit of PR. So again, a mobile marketing. So the shopper downloads an app called App Flare onto their phone, and when they walk into a store, the blue gadget you can see there basically activates the feeding of promotions to that mobile phone using Bluetooth beacon technology, technical term. So basically, it's an offer that they can't get in store. It's not a 50% off at the stand. It's only on their phone. We're going to be trying this at Time Inc. UK with One Stop. So I think it's really exciting, and I think it definitely brings magazine purchasing into the 21st century. This has been a consistent theme, definitely this afternoon. So hopefully what I've shown you is just a handful of examples about how we're trying to adapt and change our in-store marketing. We know that the consumer is changing, so we have to too. Some of the tactics are proven and well established, others are still in their infancy. What I hope is encouraging is that there is now a wider breadth of tools that we can use in-store that will appeal to different people in different ways and hopefully keep the category healthy. Thank you.